George Floyd.
I'm like kind of ignorant towards that stuff. Like I didn't vote in the last election.
You know, men like this make me genuinely and wholeheartedly reconsider the statement, I don't hate white people. Yeah. Because when I see shit like that and statements like this, the only thing I actually feel is rage. Okay? Because what the actual fuck do you mean by you don't give a shit? He didn't say he doesn't give a shit, but he did say he doesn't give a shit, just in a more nice way. So like, just to give you a rundown on the stitch the video I just stitched, she was basically like, oh, she was really like oblivious. She didn't really care about those things until George Floyd happened. I mean, good fucking morning. Okay? Good morning, white people. Hello and welcome in 2020. It's not as if black activists have been saying this for like, I don't fucking know, 200 years. I don't fucking know, okay? But hey, we needed a literal televised murder for us to wake up. And even the waking up, I'm putting it on quotations because it's been 5 years. And currently, we are more making steps back than steps front. All the progression that has happened was like reversed in the blink of an eye by the Mango Man, okay? Like, how the fuck do you reverse 60 years? 60 years of human rights motivations or human rights fights and the fight for human rights. How the fuck do you do that? When you're a white man, then you can do that. So when I see shit like this, not only does it piss me the fuck off, first and foremost, let's even start from the root of the problem. The fact that of all the things that could have been cut in, cut out, shown, televised, it's this shit they're showing. Because believe it or the fuck not, this sends a subconscious message. Because yes, the girl is like, oh, I wasn't really aware. I didn't really bother until George Floyd happened, until Trump took office, and then she started seeing things. I get it. There are two sides to every story. And mind you, two things can be right at the same time. I get it because I've been there. Thankfully, I didn't take that long, but I understand why. And me understanding why doesn't mean that I think it's right or that I think it's justifiable or that I in any way, shape or form think it's okay, because it literally is not. You shouldn't need a fucking televised murder, literal trauma porn for you to understand injustice, for you to understand racism, for you to understand that this system is in fact not just. And that system we are currently living under is in fact not giving equity to everybody. You should not see an innocent person, particularly an innocent black person, literally being murdered for the entire world to see. And on top of that, later being painted as the bad guy in the media and partially blamed for his own murder, for you to understand what black people have been saying for ever and a day. So that alone says a lot about this woman. Nevertheless, she did say it, she did understand, she did, and mind you, her understanding is still very limited, because a bit later she was like, yeah, I get that you're not racist, but I really think it's important to talk about shit like that. Listen, if somebody tells you that they don't give a shit about black lives, they are fucking racist. How the fuck does somebody just tell you, yeah, I don't really care about all that. If it doesn't affect me, I just let it go. And you're like, I think you're really not that racist. Like, is there something like a scale? Are we like just a little bit racist, just superficially racist, full-blown on racist, hardcore racist, mild racist, medium racist? Are we steaks now? Do you want your racist medium rare? Do you want your racist rare? Do you want your racist medium? Do you want your racist, I don't fucking know, all the way through? Like, what the fuck? And then, of course, is a white man. Who the fuck would you think comes on fucking international television to tell the world that he doesn't give a shit about people that don't look like him? And then the same people, by the way, are angry when women choose the bear with absolutely zero understanding. But I didn't assault you. You just told the entire world that you do not care about the systemic oppression of people that don't look like you. From there to sexism, to assaulting, to catcalling, to actively victim blaming women, it's thin ice, babes. It's very thin ice, okay? Because discrimination goes hand in hand. Sexism, racism, every other ism goes fucking hand in hand. So if you hate black people, most likely you hate other minorities. You hate other marginalized identities. You are just a white man. You think, you know, in my personal humble opinion, I think the word white man should be like an adjective. Okay, like imagine now you're going to a date and then your friend asks you, how did the date go? Just be like, man, he was just white man. And you'll be like, oh yeah, I get it. Because what the fuck? And now, yeah, I get it. At the end of the day, it's men. Yeah, true. At the end of the day, it's men. But like I always say, there are layers to all these things, okay? At the end of the day, all women experience sexism. Every femme-presenting person experiences sexism. Are there still layers to that sexism? Absolutely. Just because I experience sexism and a black woman experience sexism doesn't mean that we are not experiencing different realities in the same fucking room from the same fucking person. Because on top of the sexism, we both experience white privilege is still a thing and racism is still a thing. So you need to divide that shit. So we do not actually all sit in the same boat, okay? Miss me with that fucking bullshit. And then Netflix was just like, yeah, I think we should do that. I think let's not put quality content out there. Let's not make this a good thing. Let's cut it so that the white man actually white mans. I mean, on the one hand, I appreciate the honesty because we all know white men like that. And on the other hand, I'm like, man, y'all really missed a good teaching opportunity here. Because that man could have been lectured, if not lectured, embarrassed. I don't even give a shit if he can be lectured. At least let him be embarrassed, okay? Because there is no reality that should be acceptable to be politically neutral. You know why? Because people's living experience are not politics, okay? You think, or we as white people generally think that, human rights are political. You know, basically, let me break it down for you, okay? You know I like to give examples that are very digestible for the most dumbest white people out there, okay? If you take a shit, okay, you go and take a very big fat dump and then start telling me that, that dump is not biological. As if there was not an entire biological process happening in your fucking stomach for that shit to happen. I will look at you like you're absolutely mad, okay? It's the same with human rights. Okay, I get the comparison is kind of far-fetched because, but I need you to understand that one cannot happen without the process of the production of said situation, okay? You cannot take a shit without biology happening first, and human rights cannot be an issue without bare minimum existence first. Human rights are not political. Human rights are not political. They are not your political catch. They are not your political rally. They are not your go-to. They are not your, let me go and ask people for the votes because I want them to know I can. No, this is bare fucking minimum. It's the bare fucking minimum. The barest of barest minimums. Human rights are not politics. Okay? Development, finances, economics, social developments, all these things are politics. The existence of a human being in peace is not political. We think it's political because of racism, because of white supremacy, because of capitalism and classism. But at the end of the day, the existence of a human being in safety and in peace is not political. It is a human right. And the execution of that is the barest minimum. So stop making human rights political when it really is not. And while at it, fucking decenter men, okay? Deplatform white men. Why are we listening to white men? Why are we listening to white men? White men have nothing to offer. Anything they have to offer, they either learned it from black women or they read it somewhere. White men have nothing to offer. Nothing. Not a damn thing.